Welcome back, folks. Our Political Insider is brought to you by Digital Hearing Systems. For a free consultation and the lowest prices on premium digital hearing instruments, call Digital Hearing on our website, theworldreport.org. The Obamacare fiasco is turning many 2014 Senate races to tighten. Who were the political winners and losers of the last year, and who will be the winners and losers of 2014? Maury, the Senate has become increasingly tight now. All the races are tightening up, strengthening up.
Very much so.
The Republicans need 6 seats to take back the Senate. In the Charlie Cook report, who's one of the better political
I happen to know him, by
reporters,
the way. He's one of the best.
He is showing that there's a very possible, maybe probable outcome of 9 to 10 Senate seats changing hands. A lot of this has to do with the Obamacare fiasco. Every single senator from the Democratic side voted for it. Every single senator from the Republican side voted against it. Will this be an impact in 2014? Do you think that the Republicans win the Senate?
If I sit here today looking in the future, I'd say the Republicans, for once, are doing the right thing. They're hanging back, letting the Democrats hang themselves. And I think you're absolutely right. I think they'll get more than 6 Senate seats. I think the Senate will be GOP after November 4th of 2014.
What does that mean for the future if you've got a president that will veto anything that comes to his desk?
No, what I think the mindset of the country changes, because the balance of power now becomes that Congress is, instead of having the House as a lone wolf, so to speak, to protest or hold back money, which they never did because he knows how to get around that. You're going to have the Senate and the House. You'll have what we used to call a Mexican standoff. I mean, where he will be able to do nothing as he finishes out his career. I think by the way, Obamacare will be like a dragon that's going to eat its master. That's the way I look at it. I think Obamacare will be the biggest weapon that the Republicans are going to have if they just don't go crazy and try to become martyrs by pushing certain things. You and I don't agree on some of these things.
Like amnesty.
And I don't even want to hear that. I don't want to hear the gay marriage. I don't want to hear these things, because these are issues that can only be destructive to the Republican Party. Once, when you have power, you can get in and get things done. If you don't have any power, you're whistling in the wind.
But let me ask you something. In the early 2000s, the Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House. What did they do to improve the country?
Yeah, but you had a guy who was stupid, George W. Bush. I consider him a stupid man. Anybody, you know what my brief with?
What did they accomplish?
Well, wait a second.
In terms of
they
helping
could
the
have,
country.
though. They had, because they had the leadership, which was really nothing. I mean, George W. Bush at the time of 9/11, looked heroic for a couple of weeks, and then he brought an imam on the panel afterwards, saying that the Muslims are just like everybody else. Those were the bad Muslims. I mean, the guy was, frankly, should have never been president of the United States, but he was. So you're asking the question: if he had been a strong president like a Kennedy or Reagan, there would have been a lot of things that could have been done. But you can't, in the sense of, yes, they had the House and the Senate for a couple of years, but the problem was that he himself was not a leader of any consequence whatsoever.
Okay, so we go forward to 2014. Republicans control the House, they win the Senate. Mitch McConnell becomes Senate Majority Leader. What changes in the mindset of the Republican leadership that makes a difference?
There is no leadership until they get the presidency. I mean, that's the way this country is built. What it means is you've got a stopgap, and there will be no more deterioration, because if you got the Senate and the House working together to stop then they can stop implementation of climate control, which they're trying to push through now with John Podesta. So the only thing you get with having the Senate is you have a standoff. Right now we don't have a standoff because you've got the Senate that can stop the House. Now, the only reason that this budget control bill was passed is because the Senate went along with it for the simple reason that they didn't want a problem. They thought they still had the advantage because of the partial government shutdown, not realizing now that Obamacare was going to come and hit them between the eyes.
Okay, so John Podesta comes in to be the hitman, maybe foreseeing that there is going to be a GOP takeover of the House and the Senate. Now they're doing
Probably
everything
true.
through executive order and everything through
That's
regulation, EPA regulation, climate change. Everything's done through executive order. What has really changed by the American people rewarding the Republican Party with the Senate?
They haven't. You know, you don't seem to get the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying they cannot get power by taking the Senate. They can only stop the implementation of further deterioration and destruction of the United States. In the meantime, I think the entrepreneurial segment of our economy, which controls 80% of the employees, is going to get stronger. And I think we're going to have a very good economic year, relatively speaking, next year. But that isn't going to accrue to the benefit of the Democrats. The Democrats are going to get hurt by the combination of Obamacare and the fact that the American people, especially the young people who were 2-1 for Obama, are now waking up and saying, this guy's taking us right over the edge of the cliff.
Well, and he's not going to be on the ballot either. So
no, but Obamaism will be.
And this is something that the GOP should hang around every Democrat's neck.
I say right now that it's a fight to the finish of setting the stage for the presidential election in 2016. They have the House and the Senate. They've gotten in a much better shape.
And then when I see the remarks that Mitch McConnell has made regarding conservatives in the country and John Boehner, I'm not
they
sure
don't.
that I can
I could care less.
get behind him. Well, I do.
Well, I know you do,
Absolutely do.
And I don't, because I'm a power guy. Give me power first, and then let's talk.
Well, you're not going to get power by treating the American people
Come
by
on.
slapping them in the face.
You get power by having the presidency of the United States. One thing Obama has taught us, if you're president, you can get just about anything you want, and nobody can stop you.
I don't trust the leadership on either side of the aisle. We need to take a quick break. Which U.S. president was behind one of the worst foreign policy decisions in American history? Stay right here to find out. If you want to see the entire show or even just a particular segment, everything is free on our website at theworldreport.org. You don't need a hashtag. You don't need to Google. You can just go on and see it for free. Recommend us or like us. We'll be right back.